Alright, let's dive into a story that's equal parts terrifying and inspiring. A story that makes you think about the fragility of life and the power of quick action. Imagine this. A man in his mid-50s, fit as a fiddle, suddenly finds himself paralyzed on one side, unable to move, and in the fight of his life. This is Todd Meiklejohn's story, and what happened next is nothing short of remarkable. Here's the hook. Todd had a massive stroke. I mean, we've all heard about strokes, but this one was different. It wasn't just the stroke itself, it was the chain of events that followed. Personally, I think what makes this story so compelling is how it highlights the importance of timing. When it comes to strokes, every second counts. And in Todd's case, those seconds were the difference between permanent damage and a near-miraculous recovery. What many people don't realize is that strokes are essentially a race against time. Your brain is starving for oxygen, and the longer it goes without, the more damage occurs. Todd's wife, a nurse, found him just 45 minutes after he collapsed. She called 911 immediately, and he was rushed into surgery within 38 minutes of that call. That's insane. If you take a step back and think about it, that level of swift action is what saved him. It's not just luck. It's the system working at its best. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Todd wasn't just an average guy, he was an athlete, a biker, someone who took care of his health. So why did this happen to him? Turns out, he had a heart defect called PFO, or patent foramen ovale. This is a tiny hole between the upper chambers of the heart that usually closes after birth. Most people with PFO live their entire lives without even knowing it exists. But in rare cases, it can allow a blood clot to travel to the brain. That's exactly what happened to Todd. What this really suggests is that sometimes our bodies can betray us in the most unexpected ways. Todd was fit, healthy, and had no history of issues. Yet, this hidden defect almost cost him everything. It's a reminder that health isn't just about what you see on the surface. There's so much happening beneath the surface that we can't control or even detect. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of Todd's wife in all of this. If she hadn't come home when she did, if she hadn't acted so quickly, the outcome could have been devastating. It's a testament to the power of being present, of paying attention, and of knowing when to act. In my opinion, she's the unsung hero of this story. Her quick thinking and calm under pressure were just as crucial as the medical team's expertise. Now, let's talk about Todd's recovery. Within 48 hours of his stroke, he was discharged from the hospital. He was speaking, moving, and on the road to recovery. But here's the kicker. Just 2 months later, he completed a 100-mile bike ride. Think about that for a second. A man who couldn't move half his body just weeks earlier was back on his bike, pushing himself to the limit. It's not just a physical recovery, it's a mental one too. The resilience it takes to bounce back like that is awe-inspiring. What makes this really interesting is how Todd's experience sheds light on stroke treatment as a whole. He's now an advocate for stroke awareness, emphasizing how crucial it is to act fast. But here's the thing. Not everyone is as lucky as Todd. Not everyone has a partner who's a nurse or access to immediate medical care. This raises a deeper question. How can we ensure that everyone gets the same level of care that Todd did? It's not just about individual stories. It's about systemic change. From my perspective, Todd's story is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that life can change in an instant, and that we need to be prepared. But it's also a story of hope. It shows us what's possible when everything aligns, when the right people are in the right place at the right time. Personally, I think it's a story we all need to hear, not just for the drama, but for the lessons it holds. So, here's my closing thought. What if Todd's wife hadn't come home when she did? What if the medical team had taken just a few minutes longer? The outcome could have been completely different. It's a sobering thought, but it's also a call to action. We need to be more aware, more prepared, and more proactive when it comes to our health and the health of those around us. Because, as Todd himself said, until it happens to you, you have no idea. And by then, it might be too late.